What's up, guys? It's been a while. I was out for some time because of a knee injury, and I recently had an ACL surgery, which had me hospitalized for like 10 days. So I'm finally feeling a lot better now. Now it's just the rehab process. So probably out for a year to play like any kind of sports or anything like that. But I guess the toughest part of the hospitalization was hospital food. For those of you who play sports, I mean, you probably heard of an ACL surgery or ACL injury. I mean, it's where you tear the ligament that is connecting between, I guess, the femur bone and the tibia bone. There's like a small ligament in between that kind of controls the movement of your knee, a range of motion of your knee, or both movement, I guess. So it's a very common and yet probably one of the most serious injuries any athlete or even like anybody who plays sports they can have, especially like when you play contact sports. So I tore it like I guess this year August I tore it when I was playing futsal, and while I was playing futsal, like there's a lot of pivoting movements where you kind of shift your body from left to right. So when I was trying to shift from left to right, I tore it, and I heard the pop sound, and after I heard it, I literally dropped on the ground. And after I dropped on the ground, cause one of those injuries, like it's bad when you're like, cause like we get injured all the time, but we just get up and we just ignore it. Like one part of your brain just forgets about it. But this is one of those injuries, like when when it happens and like you're not moving. Like I was down. When I was down, I it was so painful, like I couldn't even let my voice out. Like I was just holding my knee and I was just curled up like a little ball on the pitch. Thank God, like many of my friends helped me out. So that was very very helpful, because I knew I wasn't getting up alone from there. And some of my friends from the futsal pitch, they took me to the hospital later at night, and I got myself like patched up. Then the next day I go to the hospital nearby my home, and I find that I tore my ACL. Like in Japan, I guess you call it like jintai. Jintai is for ligament, and danretsu is like you tear your ACL. So it's something like jintai danretsu, something like that. Doctor was like, the first time we saw that, like the doctor saw me. I mean, he's an orthopedic, so I guess he sees bones. The man just straight up told me like, yeah, it's gone. I was like, okay. He just said he's gone. I mean, I can speak Japanese, so in Japanese he says kireta, like kanzen ni kireta, like in a very polite way. Because in Japan it's like the doctors, I mean, you might have cancer and you're probably gonna die, but they will still give you like a smile on your face, like you will die soon. It's okay. Like these guys they have the ultimate neutral expression. So like after the hospital visit, I got myself an MRI check, got an X-ray done. I guess it was no fracture, so which is lucky, because usually like when you get an ACL injury, there might be like minor, let's say micro fractures in your kneecap, or let's say the meniscus, the MCL, which is called the outer portion, the outer ligaments, the outer side of the knee, the ligaments in the outer side of the knee. They sometimes do tend to get ruptured too. But in my case, I guess it was just an ACL injury, so the MRI came okay. But then, I was like, the knee was really swollen. So I guess in English you call it like a knee effusion or something. Like it's like a lot of blood clot and a lot of fluid builds up on your knee to kind of like, your body sends fluid. Sounds wrong. Your body sends fluid to compensate that, let's say that injured portion, right? So after the knee was swollen, the doctor just took an injection, like a super big injection, and man just injected it straight into my knee. I don't even know what that was, because I'm scared of needles. Like honestly, like I'm the type of guy who faints during a blood test. Like I'll black out. Like I see a big needle, my blood is being taken, I'll black out. Doesn't matter, like even if I am athletic or even if I'm strong or anything, like it won't matter to me. Like I'll just straight up black out. So the doctor he just smiled, like no emotion, nothing. He's like, "Oh, your knee is swollen." I'm like, "Yes, hi." It's swollen. Like in Japanese, I reply like, "Hi, chotto haretemashita." Like it's swollen. Then he's like, "Oh, let's take it out." I'm like, when he said that, I was like, "Wait, what do you mean? Like let's take it out. I was like, so he's just like, count to three, then look up. I was like, okay. Then, of course, I didn't look up. I'm like, I'm not stupid. I looked at him. I saw him taking like this big, like super big, like a 10, 15 centimeter needle, and man just injected straight up. And I was like, and he just smiled at me, like while he injected the needle, and he took all the fluid out. Like I was like, I never even saw a procedure like that in my entire life. I thought he's gonna take my kneecap or something, but so yeah, after that happened, and knee felt a lot better because guess it kind of got a little bit of the range of motion back, since when you when it's swollen, like you cannot really move, so that was quite helpful. And after that felt a lot better. Then I think after this happened in August ending ish, then I did some prehab for the surgery, because for ACL injuries, you usually have to do like, if you lose your range of motion, you got to retrain that leg again to get your original range of motion back, because without an ACL ligament, you still can, let's say, move your leg back and forth. I mean, yeah, like the move your leg back and forth, and like you can't get your range of motion back, because people can't even play sport without ACL, even though it's not recommended. So it was like, mentally it was quite tough, since it's like you get injured, then there's a phase where like limping, then you again heal up for like after 2 months, then again you do the surgery, then again now I'm back at rehab. So it's just like, it's like a roller coaster. Like, you know, it gets better a bit, then it comes down, then it gets better, then it comes down again. So it's, so right now I'm just happy. Like my prehab went well. I got through the most difficult phase, I guess, in terms of like mentally preparing myself for a surgery, because like honestly, like surgery is a big thing to me, because I'm generally like scared of hospitals, and I stay away from hospitals. I mean, I'm scared of doctors and nurses, both, even the pretty ones. But I mean, yeah, I mean, because of that, I was always kind of like 50-50 that, oh, Rumon, should I get a surgery? Do I need a surgery? Then I mean, I went on the Reddit, what do you call that? Reddit rabbit hole. I researched so many athletes having, what do you call, ACL injuries. Then I went to checking the big athletes like, you know, Cristiano or like Zlatan. You know, I checked their ACL, because Zlatan had a big ACL injury. Like, if you don't know Zlatan, like a famous soccer player, and how he came back. You know, Van Dijk from Liverpool had a huge ACL injury. So I researched like all these guys, including like so many people on Reddit. Then I kind of like prepared my mind. It's like, okay, Rumon, you gotta do this if you wanna play sports in the future. I mean, let's say like in a year or so, because I mean, in the long run, it's I had no other choice, because I know I'm gonna play sports, and honestly, it's one of those injuries that it can be recurring if you don't rehab properly. So it's very important to kind of how do I say, like rehab perfectly. Like, you know, even if you feel good, that let's say after 6 months after surgery, like you feel good, I feel like you should not get in the sports, like get into any contact sports. Maybe you can train by yourself and do some light work and stuff, but that's fine. But yeah, you still gotta like how do I say, let your body kind of understand your new ligament, because I feel like the body doesn't recognize the ligament. At least takes a year or two to kind of like body to like be like, your need to be like, yeah, that's the new guy that's gonna be there between the knees. I mean, the new ligament, and we gotta like welcome him. So that takes time. So even if you feel good, just take your time to recover. I mean, I just started my recovery phase. I'm already pretty well equipped to kind of go through each and every single stage. I mean, if I see people kicking the ball around in the park and stuff, I do feel like going and kicking with them on a pass about or kick about. But I'm just like trying to take my mind off things to like calisthenics and let's say other sports, like indoor sports, like maybe bowling or like billiards or anything like that. But it's gonna be tough for sure. Like, you know, it's gonna be really tough because mentally it's quite stressful, and on top of that, it's you have to like kind of like, because futsal was the only thing I did most of it. It was like 50% of my brain was always thinking about football, and other 50% distributed between work, let's say work, schoolwork, or like, you know, general hobbies, girls. Yeah, but football was always occupying the majority of my let's say my cognitive processes. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting journey. I mean, probably I can focus on some new stuff and let's see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. And if you guys have any questions regarding a big injury and you guys want to get a surgery, like feel free to hit me up. Peace.